finish the story. That's what we set out to do 2 years ago. And dang it, Cody Rhodes did it. Night 2 of WrestleMania. We all get to go home happy. Welcome to Squared Circle Radio Live, ladies and gentlemen, right after WrestleMania, night number 2, a truly XL WrestleMania. I am your host, Chris Belcher. The young buck Andy York is with me. I can't talk, Andy, because it's hard to put words together. We were talking throughout watching this about how I've never been so emotional for a wrestling match in my life. Never been so nervous for a wrestling match in my life. I can't even put words together.
Yeah.
But what we wanted to happen happened.
Yeah.
We got the ending we wanted.
It was crazy in a lot of ways. And it somewhat predictable of an ending, but in the best way possible.
Yep.
And it worked out really well. There's about 6 of us watching it in your living room, and all of us were on the edge of our seat. We're ready for it. And,
even my 4-year-old.
Even your 4-year-old was in it, and I love it. And there are just moments in this where our mind was just being blown.
Yep.
Absolutely blown. I said it last night on our live show that nothing really massive happened last night because they were saving everything to happen tonight. And buddy, everything happened tonight.
Buddy, they did. They everything happened tonight. We're going to try to break it all down for you. Cody Rhodes is your brand new undisputed WWE Universal champion. I don't know. Cody won the big one finally. He got to give it to his mom in the middle of the ring tonight, which is just incredible.
Yeah.
Brandy came out with him. Everybody was there. It was a who's who of surprise appearances tonight. If you can't tell, we're just overly excited about what happened tonight and what is to come. Honestly, if this is your first time checking us out, welcome to Squared Circle Radio. You see our social media handles there on the screen. Make sure you're following both Andy, myself, and the show. If this is your first time watching us, like the video, share it, let a friend know what we're doing here. We would appreciate it. We drop new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, wherever you find your podcast, if you just want traditional audio. So we would appreciate your support there. Andy, Cody Rhodes is a champion, man. I keep saying it because we even said on the show last night, we had the fear tonight that The Rock might restart the match because he was still at ringside. It didn't happen. Nothing happened post-match other than what we called last night or a couple of days ago where all the baby faces come in. They put Cody Rhodes on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Cody is the man.
Cody's the man. He is the face of the company now. And there's no questions about it. There's no doubts about it that he is the guy, the face of the company. And I know last year ended not poorly, but it ended with a bad taste in our mouth. And I'm very excited that it happened this year. I still think it should have happened last year. However, the moment was worth it.
Yes.
And everything that has built up to this was worth it. And nothing really happened. Because we even talked about this yesterday a little bit, that the crowd was absolutely split.
Yes, they were.
Like 50-50 between all 4 guys in the ring. Tonight, it seemed like a majority of the crowd was fully behind Cody. Even when The Rock came out, they were still behind Cody.
Yes.
And I think the way they structured all the big surprises did a great job of not getting a poor reaction of The Rock coming out there and doing all this stuff with Cody, but they spaced them out to where nothing really happened between the two of them. Yep. And I think that worked out really well.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. It leaves the door open for them to wrestle at some point.
Yeah.
We didn't see a lot of that interaction last night. We talked about that already. But we didn't see a lot of their interaction last night or tonight. Could lead to a match down the road. But man, it was more wrestling than I expected.
Yeah.
It was a lot less gaga than I expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the first 15 minutes of it was just a hard-hitting, no disqualification match.
Sure,
which was really fun. And then once Jimmy hit the ring, it was pure chaos.
It was.
for the last 15, 20 minutes of the match.
Dude, Jay Spear off the ramp.
Wild.
So wild.
Because we were talking about it, like, that's a massive ramp to be fighting on. And as I said that, we turned back and look, and there goes Jay spearing him off. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of wish they did more in their match yesterday because we got a moment like that, and it was awesome to see that. I loved it. It was a great spot.
It really was. It was so cool. So cool to see all that. We hit all of the surprises coming in except for one. And the one that we didn't hit, I'm so glad that we missed because it made the pop that much better.
It did.
The gong hit.
Oh my gosh.
The Undertaker showed up to choke slam The Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been more fitting to have Austin stunner him, I guess.
Yeah.
But man, the Undertaker.
I mean,
whoa.
Listen, that Austin doesn't have a lot of history with Roman.
That's true.
Taker does, especially at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And so that fits in. Also, I mean, we didn't really talk about this. Taker has a lot with Paul Heyman.
That's
with
true.
Brock and everything else. So that kind of plays a part into it. I also saw a tweet where somebody was like, it was smart not to have Austin come out there because there's still a big money match between another Austin Rock at some point down the line, which could still happen. So
That's
like
true.
that is not out of the realm of possibility, which is wild to say. If we just said that 10 years ago, somebody would have told you were crazy. Just when the gong hit, it was an instinct. We all stood up.
We did
immediately. It was like Taker.
Yep.
Taker's the one coming out here. It was wild.
It was super cool, man. I'm so glad. Again, Taker doesn't have a lot of history with Cody. He's made some comments about Cody. He was on the Nightmare documentary that aired last year. So, but super cool for Taker to come out. We had Cena, which was great.
Yeah.
I got the big Cena pop, was awesome. Jey Uso, of course, was great. And then we had the Seth Rollins Shield thing, which I don't know if they shot it poorly or like
he didn't know where he was coming. Like it took forever for him to get to the ring. One of the reasons why I knew it wasn't going to happen, but you just hear that music and I was like, is Moxley really here?
Yeah. Is
John Moxley? There's no way he is.
AEW debut, I guess.
But if he is, my goodness, could you imagine the pop that place would have had if Moxley would have rolled into the ring with Rollins? Yeah, but that was kind of a waste of a show up because nothing really happened. However, it played into the finish of this. Which we'll talk about here in a minute as well, but it played into what happened at the end. Yeah,
it did. I mean, Roman getting the chair shot, basically getting his redemption.
But he was so focused. The past of the Shield has burdened him for so long. He was so focused on taking out Seth that he missed. He took his eye off the ball, and that's all Cody needed was to get the win. And so that really plays into another Roman Seth match down the line. That's something Cody can talk about later on as well. So there's a lot that could really play into it.
Okay, one of the things that we talked about as we talk about the finish and as we talk about just sort of how all this happened, TriStar joining us again tonight as he did last night. Sup, coal miners. I love it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. If this is your first time joining us and you're on the YouTube channel, like the video, drop us some comments, questions, concerns. We're happy to take them. We're happy to read them. We had a lot of interaction last night. We appreciate that. So send it to us on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. We'd appreciate it. Let's talk about just kind of how it happened, man. You specifically mentioned that you didn't want anything to happen to Roman or to Cody.
Yeah.
Cody, I don't think got touched.
Well, Jimmy super kicked him and the Samoan Spike stuff.
Yes. Aside from, yes. Okay. So he did get touched. So we had that happen. Roman got an attitude adjustment from Cena.
Right.
And he did not get touched by The Undertaker.
No.
But Seth was going after him.
Yeah.
Which that made sense.
Yeah.
And then, so Roman got touched. And then quickly, we get Roman's interaction with Seth. Like you said, taking his eye off the ball. And then Cody hits the finish.
Yeah.
Are you okay with how it finished? Did you need more of a reset? Roman get a false finish on Cody and then Cody come back? Or are you okay with how it ended?
I'm totally fine with how it ended because I think you wanted to ride the high off the Taker spot and the Seth moment and all of that. You wanted to ride off that because if you didn't, you could do the false finish, you could do all that, and that could play a part into it. But Cody just going off the momentum after the distraction of Roman going after Seth, I think that was more important than the false finish that we would have gotten. I will say this: when Cody hit all three of them, I was in the back of my mind, I was like, Roman's kicking out of this because this is really quick after that.
Yep. I was
And
too.
he when he didn't, I was thoroughly shocked. But I think the crowd was already so hyped for it that it was smart to finally just to pull the trigger and let it happen right then and there.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. TriStar again, like we talked about last night, I was more expecting Stone Cold than The Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of us were. And I think that makes a lot of sense. But The Undertaker was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
It would have been awesome to have Austin.
Yeah.
But like having a surprise.
Yeah.
To me was just as good.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I would have rather have seen Austin.
Sure.
Just because
it's
Austin and Rock. And as the kid that never got to grow up in the Attitude Era and watch it, to see those two guys in the ring and to see Austin hit a stunner on Rock would have been amazing to see that.
And
however,
we don't see Austin very much at all.
No, we don't. No. When he shows up, he's there.
Yep.
However, I'm not disappointed that it was Taker.
Yep.
Like I think Taker showing up was a good idea in a way. If you can't get Austin, Taker's the next best choice.
Absolutely.
And so I was fine with that, but I agree. I wish I was more expecting Austin to show up and hit the stunner because I was waiting for that. They got us. They put that stupid cooler under the ring, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, there's the beers."
It was for the Undertaker.
It was for the Undertaker. Yeah. But I was like, "Here we go." Austin and Cody are going to share beer in the middle of the ring. All this, and then the gong hit, and it was over from there.
I don't think Taker was hiding out the whole show.
I think it was main event or on the main event.
I feel like they had to have snuck him out at some point. I don't know how they did it.
That's a big dude to sneak out there.
Exactly. That's a 6'10", bro.
But he wasn't all black, and I'm sure the lights were down for the video package beforehand and all this other stuff. So, and maybe some people saw him go under, and nobody really said anything. I think there was a moment I saw on Twitter where when Cody pulled up the apron to pull out the table, you saw somebody's hands kind of move back underneath. So
really?
I think if you go back, you can kind of see Taker is kind of hiding under there, but I don't think anybody else was really paying attention.
Interesting. We'll have to go back and look at that. I'm not totally sure about that. Man, just what a fun night. I'm glad that we capped it off that way. Again, we were talking about it. It's like we didn't get a whole lot of surprises or debuts or shocking things throughout either show. Do you feel like WrestleMania as a whole, do you feel disappointed by that? Or are you feel like with this Triple H era, like we're talking about, they just let the in-ring stuff speak for itself, and that's that?
I think they let the in-ring stuff speak for itself, and more importantly, they let the main event speak for itself. Because you mentioned this while we were watching the show, that all the other matches outside of the U.S. Triple Threat didn't have, and outside the street fight, didn't have a lot of interference or anything like that. No damage control got involved. Nope. Or nothing with LA Knight and AJ Styles. The Punk stuff didn't happen until post match, which we'll talk about that as well.
Yep.
But with this one, I think they wanted you to remember the main event, because I think we're all the other stuff in the show is fantastic. We're going to remember everything that happened in the main event. So why not just hold all your cards until the main event and just go wild with it? And that's exactly what they did.
I think it's one of those things where, yes, I'm not saying I'm disappointed with WrestleMania. Here's how I'm looking at it, though. Everybody remembers WrestleMania 12 of the crowning moment of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
But that's what you remember WrestleMania 12 for.
Yeah.
I feel like WrestleMania 40, we're going to remember as the crowning moment of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
But is there other things that are going to stick out? But that happened and that happened and that happened. So I guess I'm saying I almost wish there could have been some more things.
Yeah. I kind of
nothing would have overshadowed the main event,
right.
But you know what I mean?
Kind of like Mania 30 when we're going to remember it for Daniel Bryan's crowning moment. However, that's also the same show that Taker's streak came to an end.
Yes.
So
same show, Rock, Austin, and Hogan came out,
kicked off the show. Yeah. And so that makes a lot of sense of spacing them out. However, that was also a one-night WrestleMania, so you had to keep the crowd engaged a lot more.
That's true.
Spread out. And I think with a 2-night, you don't necessarily have to do that, because I don't think we really see those legend spots kicking off the show or in the middle of the show like we once did with WrestleMania. It's kind of, they're a part of the show now. They're announced a part of the show.
Yeah, that's true. TriStar hitting us with one. What was a bigger crowd reaction for a winning streak ending tonight, or when Kentucky ended the 27-game losing streak to Tennessee in 2011? Man, that was a big one.
That was a big one. We beat you with a wide receiver as a quarterback.
Wide receiver as a quarterback. He's also talking some Calipari stuff in here. Yes, we're aware, and you know what?
Half of us are happy, half of us aren't.
I don't want to say that I'm not happy. You're more happy than I am.
Happy.
I just Arkansas. It's just weird. Okay. Anyway, I don't know, man. Beating them with a wide receiver as a quarterback was pretty nice.
That's pretty great.
But everybody in my house was cheering for Cody Rhodes tonight.
Yes.
And it would have been a sad, sad night had he not won. So,
we had some bold claims of like never watching wrestling again. Like, and
not from the two of us.
No, not from the two of us. But the pop. Personally, I think the pop last year would have been bigger if we'd have won.
Sure.
But the pop was still massive tonight. And tonight was with the baby faces coming out, with Cena getting involved, with the locker room leader for how many years getting involved.
Yep.
Puts you or lets you know Cody is the guy.
Yep.
Cody is now the face of the company going forward.
And Triple H and Bruce Pritchard coming out at the end of the night too. Yeah. Nick Khan towards the end there. And
Triple H was talking to him for 2 or 3 minutes in his ear. Just I honestly just telling him, this is yours now.
Yep.
You've got the keys to the kingdom.
Yep.
We're on your back now. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's take off running.
Speaking of kingdom, if you guys are watching this, yes, Andy and I are wearing the same shirt. We matched.
I don't think we really planned it.
I don't think
it happened.
It was sort of, I think you told me like, oh, I'm definitely wearing that shirt at Mania night too. And I'm like, well, yeah, I planned on it too, but I'm not going to not do it because I want to wear the shirt. But yes. So Cody Rhodes has Squirt Circle Radio support.
He does.
Very much new world heavyweight champion, not world heavyweight champion, WWE champion, whatever they're going to call it. I don't know. I think we get a new belt tomorrow.
I do.
Okay.
I hope we get a winged eagle so bad.
That is my favorite championship.
It's mine too. I pray we get it. Because just him walking out in that jacket tonight with the eagles on his shoulders, I was like, man, that would look so sick on him.
Those entrances tonight in the main event. Oh, man.
We wondered why Rock got his big one last night and all the other 3, because even Sass at the beginning, which was something else.
We'll talk
about it. But Roman's entrance was wild. Cody's entrance was wild. Different side of Cody than what we're used to seeing, and it needed to be. Yep. We didn't need the smiley baby face. We needed the I'm going into war.
Yep.
And they're gonna have to kill me to beat me.
I mean, him coming out in the mask was super cool. Like, I wanted him to come out in like huge gladiator armor.
I wanted him to come out in all black.
Oh, that would have been
all black, ready for war.
What if he would have dyed his hair?
No, I needed a blonde. I need the hope that he's gonna bleed, so we get the blood and the blonde hair again.
Nobody bled.
And we got Brandy. We didn't even really mention that. Like Brandy coming out there at the entrance towards the end. Just an awesome moment.
It was super cool. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring as far as Monday Night Raw.
I don't even know if he's on it.
He's absolutely on it. If Cody Rhodes doesn't kick the show off, something is wrong. Cody Rhodes is on that show.
Yeah, he better be.
He has to be.
He better be.
But I don't know what's next. I don't know who's next for him, if I can borrow the Goldberg term. But I will say that at least for the two of us, we're just thrilled that it happened.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this scenario out to you as a very interesting first opponent that we haven't really even mentioned. But I could see tomorrow Cody kicking off the show and being interrupted by Judgment Day.
Okay.
And Priest is out there, spoiler alert, as the new World Heavyweight Champion.
Yep.
The two of them are face to face. We go into a tag match later that night. Priest and Balor versus
Cody and Seth.
Why not? Or somebody debuting that we don't know about yet, because let's bring back the fun of night after WrestleMania.
It's got to happen.
And we start to go down the Cody Finn Balor route of Finn challenging for the WWE Championship with the Bullet Club history and with all of that, kind of what we thought with AJ, but instead of AJ, we kind of put it with Finn Balor. I think that would be really interesting between the two of them.
Could be very interesting. I mean, I'm game for that,
Yeah.
especially if the Judgment Day's falling apart.
Yeah.
One last hurrah between Priest and Balor, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of Priest, let's talk about it, man. If you're not the wait, let's throw this up real quick. TriStar hits us up. Walter would be the next challenger for Cody. Not yet.
I hope not.
And the reason we say not yet is because I think this.
You'd say probably
that Walter's going to be Gunther is going to be the guy to take the title from Cody. So you don't want him to be the first guy. Cody's got to have a reign with it. But Gunther is that if he doesn't take the belt from Priest, which maybe that happens.
Maybe.
Instead.
I said after Priest won, I looked and said Gunther is winning the title within the next month. I think at Backlash, Gunther is winning the title.
I agree.
And I think Gunther holds it probably till right outside. I think he loses it at the Rumble, wins the Rumble, and we do Cody Gunther next year at WrestleMania, possibly.
I could be
with Gunther winning.
Yep.
Like
for sure.
Making him the new, not necessarily as long of a title reign, because we don't need everybody to have 1,400-day title reigns, but Gunther dethroning Cody and then holding that title for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Damian Priest, new World Heavyweight Champion in a crazy turn of events.
Wild.
Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, a fantastic opening match.
Yep.
Match of the night. What do you think was match of the night?
Oh, in ring, probably that.
Man, that triple threat.
Actually, I don't know. Triple threat was really good. Bailey Ito was really good too.
Yeah. LA Knight and AJ Styles
was really good.
Really good. Yeah.
I'll say this: Night 2 has a better wrestling.
Absolutely, it did.
Even like the Final Testament and the Street Profits and Lashley, I wasn't excited for, but afterwards, like, that's fun. We got Snoop Dogg on commentary. They beat the crap out of each other.
Scarlett died
for like 2 hours on the outside of the ring. It was a lot of fun. I would probably say Seth Drew was match of the night from in ring. The match that I had the most fun with by far was the main event.
Yeah, for sure. Seth and Drew, fantastic match. 5-6 claymores, 2 or 3 stomps, all the things. CM Punk on commentary. And then what you called happened after Drew wins the title, you see the emotion all over Seth's face. It's a rough night for Seth.
It was a rough night
for
Seth.
Because he was limping out of the main event. Maybe he injured his knee again. Who knows? I don't know. But dude needs to take some time off for sure.
Yeah.
But Drew wins. He gets on the commentary table. He holds the title up in front of Punk. And then Punk attacks him, which was fantastic. Got a huge pop from all of us. And then Damian Priest shows up. Cashes in Money in the Bank. And didn't we not talk about this last night?
Yeah.
That Punk and Drew don't really need the title.
Yeah.
And if Drew wins, Priest could cash in. We said tomorrow night, but why not at WrestleMania? And I'm just like, okay, all right.
I will say this. Punk's reaction to everything, just sitting on the commentary table, slow clapping at Drew while his life was falling apart all around him, was amazing. It was great to see that. It took a long time post match to get to that. I felt like, but it was worked out really well. And once the music hit, I was like, oh, Priest is actually winning this.
Yep.
Like, and it makes sense how they let this happen, because you didn't need it to happen to Seth. And Drew was so focused on Punk that it cost him.
Yep.
And so that's going to send Drew down an even more dark rabbit hole where he's going to start going crazy. I wonder if we get a status update tomorrow on Punk. If we are getting Drew Punk at Backlash, or if we're getting it maybe whatever the next show is after that.
Money in the Bank.
Possibly Money in the Bank.
There's a Saudi show in between, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a Saudi show Memorial Day weekend.
Maybe. Which I'm fine with, because I would also love to see Punk in the Money in the Bank briefcase match. Because he's a 2-time winner. So I think seeing him in there would be great. But I do think we need to do Drew Punk as soon as possible. Agreed. Especially after everything that happened tonight.
Yeah. I think if Punk ripped off the elbow brace, which is interesting because he wasn't wearing it on the kickoff show, but he was wearing it when he came out. So you kind of knew something was up. Ripped off the elbow. If ripping off the brace is an indication of him being cleared, yes, we need it ASAP for sure.
Absolutely.
Priest being world champion, though, is that like, I feel like it's just weird to say.
It is weird to say. But give him a shot. Why not? Like, why not let him go out there, give him a shot? It makes sense. See what he can do. But again, I don't think it's going to be a lengthy reign.
I don't either.
I think it's Gunther's title to win at this point.
I agree. Yeah, for sure. And you feel bad for Drew because, like, there's a lot of stuff about his contract, whether you believe it or not. I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
But you kind of got to feel bad for the guy because he gets the fortunate situation of going to WrestleMania, which was supposed to be CM Punk.
Yeah.
Now it's Drew. He gets the spot to win the title, only to lose the title.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, what do you do with him now?
Punk. I mean, Punk is the option.
Yeah, other than Punk.
And then when Gunther wins the title, go after Gunther again.
Because if that happens, though, we know it's going to. Punk's going to beat him, right? Shouldn't he?
He should. But I mean, if they're probably going to have more than one, and they're probably going to trade off wins, maybe. Or he'll just go the Cody route and beat him 3 straight pay-per-views in a row like he did with Seth.
That's a good point.
So I really don't know. I think once he is done with Punk, though, if Gunther is champion, he's going after Gunther, and you do Drew Gunther again. And then I think you need to do Drew Cody would be really interesting for the title. I think that's a great one. I think Drew Roman, possibly as reverse roles again, would be really interesting to see as well. I'll tell you another one. You want to put over a young guy? Drew versus Braun Breaker would be a car crash. That would be amazing to see.
But then again, if you're doing that, like all those feuds that you just listed,
he's losing every single one of them.
He's losing them all.
Yeah.
So we're in the AJ boat now.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Interesting. All right. Speaking of AJ, one of AJ's better WrestleMania matches happened tonight.
Easily one of his best ones.
Second to third, probably best WrestleMania match.
The best one still was Shane, which makes no sense that it was with Shane.
It's because it was no holds barred, and Shane did a coast to coast and
a shooting star press.
Yeah. And it was, I think it's because that one was way better than anybody.
Oh, we were like, why are we doing this? And then we watched it, like, that was pretty good. that was really good. That was wild. That was great.
But AJ and LA Knight getting the win.
Yep.
Sort of as we expected, but in a really fun match. I'm with you, man. Just the overall night 2 wrestling was better, and AJ and LA Knight just a really good match.
Yeah, a really good match, a really great back and forth. A match that obviously AJ at WrestleMania needed, but a match that LA Knight needed as well.
Agreed.
And I think both guys needed the win, but I'm glad LA Knight got the win.
Yep.
Like I think him getting it at WrestleMania just cements him up even more. To where maybe we get LA Knight versus Damian Priest if we're not going Gunther, or LA Knight and Logan Paul once again for the U.S. title or something like that. I think we're pushing LA Knight back up the card. And now that Roman's not necessarily, not that he's not in the title picture, but obviously he's going to be a lot different now without the title. I think LA Knight could come in and kind of take over some of that star power that Roman had on SmackDown for a long time.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially, depending on what Cody does with the championship, if he's on SmackDown, if he's on Raw, if he's on both, which, I mean, let's be honest, I don't want him to really be on both.
No.
That's the point of having 2 championships. But at the same time, if he's going to defend the title and, be out there, I don't really know. That's right for Triple H to decide, not for us. But good stuff. LA Knight and AJ Styles. Bayley and Io. Bayley finally getting her first singles win at WrestleMania, winning the Women's World Championship or the WWE Women's Championship, whatever it's called. I don't even know. I was really confused by the entrance.
Yeah.
I have no words. Really.
I mean, her gear looked awesome.
Yeah, it looked great.
Her gear looked fantastic. Just the entrance, I don't really know. She got new music, which couldn't really hear it very well. Same with AJ. AJ got new music.
Yep.
They couldn't hear very well. Listen, there's a lot of people that deserve a lot of things in wrestling, like Cody tonight and all this other stuff. Bayley getting her WrestleMania moment should have happened a long time ago. And I'm very glad she got it here. And not just like a win and a match that like was okay. It was a really good match.
Yep.
Io's counter out of the Rose Plant reminded me a lot of when Mustafa Ali did the counter to the RKO. He just put his hands down and stood right back up. Like just something you don't see that they pulled out at a really great time. And just a really great back and forth match, and glad Bayley finally got the win.
Yeah, she did. It was great. I was big fan of that. Glad she did it, but it also made us very, very nervous for the main event.
It did.
With Bayley getting a win and title changes at the beginning of the night, all that kind of stuff. What else do we not talk about?
Final Testament and
the Philly street fight.
Yeah.
With Bully Ray as a special guest referee. You talk about somebody's night being made. Bro, that was awesome.
And Snoop being on commentary, supporting his gin and juice. It was perfect. I love Snoop on commentary, and he killed it. He did a great job. And this was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like it was a great way to use weapons and to do the things they did. However, I really wish they'd have done that for Jimmy and Jay instead of this. But I'm still glad we got it. It was a lot of fun, and it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Well, let's reverse roles real quick. Take away all the weapons from this match.
Mm-hmm.
What would it?
It'd been boring as all get out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But you could find. I mean, you could have made Jimmy and Jay a street fight. You could have made this one a no DQ. They're the same thing. Like you just do something different.
It's on 2 separate nights. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we had the bloodline rules tonight and that tonight as well. So I don't think it really. And it's triple threat. Right. So I think you could have done anything with it.
Let's talk about that triple threat, man. What a fun match.
Yeah.
It was honestly, obviously the main event is going to be looked at as, what we really remember and what we wanted, blah, blah. But I really think, man, that triple threat match is my favorite match of the night.
It was great.
I really think it was. I mean, Logan Paul, again, showing why he is so stinking good.
Annoyingly.
Yes. And in there with two of the very best.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Kevin Owens coming out in the ECW inspired gear was so great. Fun. The golf cart at the beginning, them coming down together was hilarious.
Yes, it was.
And then Randy and Kevin Owens just going after each other was funny. Was great as well. A lot of great moments in this of RKOs and Randy teasing the punt, which we need to bring back at some point. And not where we cut the lights off like he did with Ric Flair during the pandemic, which I don't even know if you remember that or not.
Sadly I do, yes.
But I loved everything about this, and it did a great job of getting more heat on Logan Paul to where when he loses that title, somebody's gonna be really happy. People are gonna be really happy about it. But Randy Orton killed it, Kevin Owens killed it, and then we get ISO Speed in the prime bottle dropping F-bombs like he's The Rock, and then eats an RKO on the table that looked like it broke Randy's back again. It was a rough RKO.
That table not giving was
it was rough.
Oh, that was wild. And ISO Speed, is that his name?
Yeah.
I guess for all you people out there watching that or listening that know who that is, I do not, but I'm sure it was cool. Whatever. TriStar still hanging with us. If you're listening and hanging with us on YouTube or on Twitter, on Facebook, drop us some comments, leave us some questions. We would appreciate it very much. Kevin Steen needs to bring back the package pile driver. You said it tonight. If Sammy was able to bring back the brain buster last night, then
he should have at least gone for it. Not necessarily hit it, but at least gone for it. Because Logan Paul could take it. He could take a package pile driver
for sure.
Easily.
Well, I don't know. What was the move that he screwed up tonight? It was right before the moonsault.
It was the little spinning perfect plex thing that Kevin Owens does. Yeah. I don't know if Logan slipped or if KO slipped. Somebody slipped off of it.
Felt like Logan slipped, but I
don't know. But we're hitting Canadian destroyers on a random SmackDown. Why can't we just pull out a package pile driver on a pay-per-view?
Bro, Ricochet.
Yeah.
We didn't bring this up at all this week, but Ricochet last week on Raw.
Hitting that Canadian destroyer was nasty.
Bro.
It was nasty.
Dude, insane. I'm super happy that Ricochet's getting the spotlight that he's getting on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Hopefully that transitions or translates to a pay-per-view match or something. I don't know, but good stuff. Anyway, but incredible triple threat match. Those guys worked their tails off.
Yeah.
We questioned this match a whole lot.
Yeah.
Going into it, the booking of it, the lead up to it, whatever, but it delivered. It was great.
Yeah. It was really fun. And I think it just shows Randy's longevity of just being able to adapt and do all this other stuff. I think it shows just how great Kevin Owens actually is. And then, like we said, it's annoying how good Logan Paul is at wrestling. but he's really good. When he hit the frog splash, he grabbed his toes and did it. Like, it was the wild to see, but it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. This was the theme of night 2 it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, which is normally the theme of night 1.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that they've flip-flopped this year.
We talked about it last night. It's like the flip-flop thing.
Yeah.
And when we said that last night, I didn't say this on the show, but I was thinking in my head that I hope that it happens.
Yeah.
That I hope night 2 over delivers. And I think it absolutely did. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because I had more people in my house watching it or whatever.
It's more fun watching it together. Like, it really is.
That's true. But I did have more fun tonight than I did last night. I really did. And I think the in-ring had a whole lot to do with that. I'm not saying that Gunther and Sammy didn't put on a great show last night.
Becky Rhea
put on a great show last night, but it just, I don't know, tonight felt different.
Yeah, it did. And, we talked about it in the build up to this, kind of jumping back to the main event tonight too.
Yep.
But we talked a lot about the night 1 overshadowing night 2 main event.
Yep.
And something needed to happen to build into it. And I think, the thing that built into night 2 was the fact that he had to fight in bloodline rules now.
Yep.
And so that added a lot more stakes to the night 2 main event. Cody was silent on social media all day. They didn't show him until his entrance.
Yep.
They didn't really show anything else from him. Yeah. So, like, I think they did a great job of making the stakes for night 2 so high that it panned out and it worked really well for him. And now we've got a new WWE champion that will show up to work. I'm so excited to have two fighting world champions on our shows. Doesn't seem like a lot to ask for, but buddy, it's been hard to get it.
Oh man, it really has. Well, man, that's night number 2, night number 1. WrestleMania is in the books. I can't believe it.
I can't either.
It's actually quick. It's done.
Yeah.
Next year we do not have an announcement as to a location.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah. Normally we have that by now.
Maybe they don't know yet.
Maybe they don't. I don't know.
Or maybe there's like 2 cities competing for it. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. But the page turns, as everybody likes to say in the wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy tonight, but Monday Night Raw is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
It all starts over again.
Yep.
Got any bold predictions for Raw tomorrow night? Raw after WrestleMania has sometimes been a letdown. Sometimes it's been good. Sometimes it's been in between.
I'll say my bold prediction for tomorrow night, and this is I didn't even get to tell you this. The rumor, like an hour before WrestleMania kicked off.
Oh yeah, I told you not to tell me, but you can tell me now. It's fine.
Rumor, like an hour before WrestleMania had kicked off, is that Jacob Fatu had signed with WWE.
Okay.
So maybe post WrestleMania, we get Jacob Fatu showing up and not joining the bloodline necessarily, but trying to drag Solo away from it.
Okay.
And we get a tag team between those two, because those two as a tag team would be talking about the Wild Samoans back in the day. It'd be the modern day version of them. And that would be amazing to see that.
That's a lot of fun. That's really cool. I think my prediction for tomorrow night is Rock turns on Roman.
Tomorrow night?
Yep.
Wow.
I think Roman gets kicked out of the bloodline tomorrow night.
I don't think we see Roman for a while.
I think tomorrow is the last time we see him for a while. I think we go one more time, because, and the reason I say that is because if Rock is doing this new movie and he's going to be away for a while, he still has a little bit of time before he goes and does it. It doesn't start tomorrow.
No, I'll say this. I wouldn't be shocked if Roman turned on Rock and said, if it wasn't for you, Taker wouldn't have shown up, Cena wouldn't have shown up, we would have had him beat. But because you got involved and you called yourself the final boss and everything else, now look what happened.
Yeah.
So I could honestly, which is great about this, I could see both guys turning on each other. Right. And you don't know what's going to happen.
That's true. That's very true. I don't know. I think a turn between one of them comes tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I don't know which one. I would say that Rock turns on Roman.
I would too.
And Rock stays the heel.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and we've seen the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do a behind the curtain something about the WrestleMania main event coming up this Wednesday on the WWE YouTube channel, which you better believe I am. I am front and center. Give me some popcorn for it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Can't wait to watch it. But the whole thing is about them pivoting.
Yeah.
From what they originally wanted to do till now. Well, I feel like if they're smart, which it seems like they are,
yeah,
and they've captured this Rock character,
yeah,
why throw it away and make it a baby
absolutely,
face?
absolutely.
Why?
And, well, the thing is, we still have to get Rock Cody at some point,
Right?
And for that to happen, he has to be this version of Rock,
which is why I think he needs to turn on Roman.
Yep. Which is why I also think it'll happen in Saudi Arabia, because less likely for the crowd. I think the crowd will do their job and cheering the babyface, boo the heel.
You don't think they'll
chill the Rock? They chill the
legend.
They will cheer the legend, but it's hard to deny Cody. I think at that point, and depending on what else they do, I could see that definitely being the case.
I don't know,
but it'll be crazy no matter what they do.
We've said it. We need Rock Cody at some point.
Yep.
I think SummerSlam falls within his movie shooting schedule, so I think that's out of the question.
That's probably where you get Roman Cody too.
See, yeah. Well, maybe because we said, or I at least said, Backlash. I don't know.
I don't think Roman's not traveling to France. That's too far.
I don't know. He went to, where was Money in the Bank? Was it Money in the Bank in London?
Yeah.
He went to London.
He didn't go to Australia.
No, he didn't. You're right. I don't know.
And the year before, he went to
Saudi.
Yeah, well, wherever the Clash at the Castle was.
Oh yeah, that was in Wales, right?
Yes.
Cardiff, Wales.
Yeah.
Which this year it's in Scotland.
Yeah.
Who's your Scottish guy?
Drew's
hanging around at least till July.
And Becky.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So,
gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But it feels great to say Cody Rhodes.
It does.
Is the undisputed.
The wheels champion. Could fall off tomorrow, but we got our moment. That's the most important thing, is we got this moment.
And Priest isn't cashing in on him.
Nope. I'm so glad they got that out of the way, because I did not have to worry about it the rest of the night. I was so happy about that.
Man.
Oh, man. If he'd have cashed in on Cody, it'd have been horrible.
It would have been
horrible.
But it didn't happen.
Nope.
Cody's a champion. And guess what? We're going to be back here for you tomorrow to talk all about the fallout of the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yep.
So make sure you're tuned in wherever you find your podcast and on our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that notifications bell so you know each time we drop a new episode, and like that video on the YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. At SQ_radio on all social media platforms. I am at Chris Belcher 24. Andy is at Andy_SQR.
Yeah.
And this is Squared Circle Radio. Hope you guys are digging what we're doing. If this is your first time listening, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us. We would appreciate it. We will be back with you tomorrow. Hopefully I can talk tomorrow on Tuesday, again, to break down the Raw after WrestleMania and everything that I'm sure is going to come crashing down.
Probably.
In some way, shape,
probably.
or form.
Something's going to happen.
All right. Appreciate you guys being with us. For Mr. Andy York, my name is Chris Belcher. This has been Squared Circle Radio. We will catch you guys